This Monday Night Football props and NFL Week 15 recap edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with promo code SGPN to score up to $1,000 in bonus cash. We're also brought to you by Rebet, a new sports book available in 45 states. Download Rebet in your app store and use promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $100. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Get your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM.
What's up? It's the most must-see WWE superstar of all time, The Miz, and you are watching SGPN, and it is awesome. Let it ride.
Cox. He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Ooh, welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog.
Greetings, Sean.
Oh, greetings indeed. Nice day of football out there in the National Football League. Obviously the Eagles won. Obviously they covered. Shout out to everyone who was, I love when Sean gets all worked up. I love when Ryan gets Sean fired up, and much like the Eagles themselves, we heard the chirping, we heard the chatter, came through with a dominating performance over going into this game. I would say one of the best defenses in the NFL, unless you're facing Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown, Devonta Smith, even Saquon Barkley got a little action in there. Great win, great cover. That to me, biggest game of the week. And then Bills over the Lions. Ryan, we did pretty good so far on our Circa Million card, 3-1. That brings us up to 55% for the year, 33-1 in the Circa Million. Knock on wood, we get the Bears covering as the Close Your Eyes special. How was your day in the National Football League, Ryan? We got to see Tim Boyle, possibly the Giants' future at quarterback.
For a couple minutes, looked good. Through with great anticipation. Yeah, it was. I mean, Jordan Akins really ruined a lot of early Christmases.
Oh yeah, he was bad. No show there. Stone Smart got going. They just couldn't get any touchdowns. So the Stone Smart play was fun, and he had a couple. What was his total? Pull up his box.
He was involved at least. I mean, the Browns and Akins. I mean, whether it was that punt drop. Just a number of unfortunate circumstances leading to, of course, Jameis being put down once again.
Yeah, why'd they do that?
I don't know. It felt like
Stone Smart 5 catches for 50 yards. So the idea that he would get 2 touchdowns, not crazy. Quentin Johnson got one, Lab McConkey, but in general, the Chargers offense they got destroyed in the second half, 27-0. Did not see that coming, but a couple of misses, a lot of hits, 8 and 6 for me overall. Hitting the double locks. Kramer, what are your thoughts? Any big takeaways?
Annoyed that I didn't lock up the Packers. I'm not. I'm a big fan of accountability, so I'm not gonna blame you at all for pushing me back a little bit off the Packers.
Okay.
But
no, and
very regretful to have taken the Panthers over the Packers in the lock column.
I should have listened to my gut that said, "Hey, this Seahawks team sucks." But it was like, hey, they're playing better. They're at home. Their defense is coming along. Packers maybe turned it over. Jordan Love. It felt like obviously in hindsight too cute. There is Geno Smith sucks. We got to see. But also you saw why. They had a shot. I mean, they had a shot late. Obviously, Geno Smith got knocked out of the game, and Sam Howell, if he wasn't just horrible, they really had a chance to come back and win that game because the Packers were trying to give them the game.
So cute.
What was cute?
The Packers. Like, just run the clock out.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
They were incredibly cute. AJ Brown gets home with the anytime touchdown. Didn't get 3 touchdowns, but I did put a nice chunk of change over on mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN with the AJ Brown anytime touchdown. Could have got that as high as plus 150. So that was a pretty fun cash for me, Ryan.
Ramondre gets a catch for 16 yards in the very beginning of that game. Looks like our house ladder from the VSiN show is going to fire up nicely.
Well, Ryan, you mentioned
a lot of broken, fairly good starts that led to just horrible down the stretch.
Well, we did get over the
Anthony
Underdog.
Richardson fucking somehow getting to 17 completions.
Oh, that was a bad beat. Well, I mean, that game was so insane. I can't wait to talk about it because there were so many wild rides in that Anthony Richardson Colts Broncos game. We'll get to that.
I do see we have a caller. If you want to do Sunday night up top, get it out of the way.
Yeah, we can get to that.
Yeah. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, Tate saying the prop show did well overall. Appreciate the dubs. Yeah, and one of our ladders that came through, Ryan, Mac Jones, AK McCorkle, 25 rushing yards at 5-1. Did not get the 2 touchdowns for 120 to 1, but certainly was a willing runner there in that game that they ended up bailing on or ended up blowing. So yeah, it was a it was a wild ride on some of these, but a lot of fun overall.
There were and it's just general good electricity in the games. Good a good kickoff for the best ball playoffs. A lot of scoring for most teams.
Yeah.
Hopefully you didn't have a Ram this weekend. Tough weekend to end up with a Ram. Jared Goff 500 yards and 5 touchdowns. Hello.
Yeah, I mean, I had Stafford on a couple teams that went through. That game obviously was super ugly. Didn't get anything there, and then a lot of my teams, Saquon Barkley was a big reason why they succeeded. And he had, a fine game, but didn't get in the end zone. Nothing crazy there. So
Sean,
we'll see.
The last fantasy related tout.
Yes, everyone loves hearing your fantasies.
It is mine because I was the one that pulled the trigger. But in an industry league, we in a best ball league drafted in July. We had Devontae Walker who scored a touchdown for the Ravens today. We know ball.
We do know ball.
Yeah, that's the last.
Joining us all on the line, and this is a fun way to start the recap. We'll let these fans come in and recap their team's games. Of course, Dick Puncher joining us on the line. Sure, he's happy about his Packers win. Mr. Puncher, how we feeling?
Go Pack, go. Go Pack, go. You already know, guys. Oh my God. Great game. Great. I mean, the first half in particular was just out of this world. I mean, the first 2 drives was just like the Seahawks looked like they couldn't do anything. I don't know the degree to which it's, they're not great against the run and the degree to which Josh Jacobs has been playing amazing recently. But yeah, I mean, just great game. Edgerrin Cooper coming back from injury, getting multiple tackles for loss, the sack, the interception. Jair Alexander still being out, like despite practicing, is annoying as hell, but hopefully we get him back. And hopefully at that point, we'll put a little run together.
Packers.
Well, and I was going to say Dick Puncher probably also very erect from the Mike Evans performance. Earlier in the day.
I will say I didn't do 2 touchdowns this week. But yes, of course, the anytime.
Yeah, I mean he's playing. He's going to get a touchdown. Packers get the win and the cover 30-13. Puncher, you had to be a little bit nervous there though towards the end of the game. Why were they going for it when you didn't need to go for it? Taking deep shots when you could probably just run the clock out. A little cute by LaFleur, no?
Yeah, no, I agree. The going for it, I certainly agree with. They should have, or I agree with you that they should not have done that. They should have just kicked it there. They did get a little cute. They do this sometimes where they look deep on these, these easy down situations where it's just obviously if you're gonna go, you run the ball or whatever, and they look for it all. And sometimes to their credit, the guys there, I mean, we had the one third down to Reed, where it's we could have just been running it, but Reed just falls on his face for no reason.
And who was that iced the game? Was that Christian Watson that had that awesome? I mean, that was a great catch where it almost looked like it hit the ground. And incredible hand strength at the back of the end zone.
That was Romeo.
Romeo.
Yeah.
Wherefore art thou
Romeo with
Romeo?
a love connection tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, that was nice. How you feeling about the Packers going in the playoffs? It is kind of crazy. You guys are 10-4 and sitting in third place.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have a like legitimate chance, right? Like any of these.
Might have lost Mr. Puncher.
Sorry, did I wait?
You're back. You're back.
Yep.
Okay. Sorry, my girlfriend just tried to call me.
Oh wow.
Put it in the voicemail for you guys.
Oh, thank you.
But anyway, so where was I? Oh yeah, I think week 1 we play against the Eagles. That field in Brazil, very sloppy. Anything, like anything like here and there. There were both teams had some like misplays or whatever. And week 1, surely even Sean, you can concede that that's out of all the weeks the one that least tells you what will happen in a postseason matchup. But I not that I'm saying like, oh, Eagles, we're going to beat them. I think we have a chance against any of these teams. I think there's no team that, the Packers, if they don't beat themselves, they don't have, like Josh Jacobs did a great job tonight. He did have the fumble last week. Christian Watson fumble. If we don't beat ourselves, I think we've got a shot against anybody.
I mean, Bucks and or the winner of the West, right? Isn't that who it's probably going to be?
Yes. Yeah, it will most likely be one of those two. I'm hoping it's Seattle, even though the Rams look like they're coming on, but I'd prefer it not be the Rams.
So right now, Eagles and Lions are both 12-2, but Lions have the better conference record. They would have the number 1 seed. So it would be in round 1, Eagles versus the Commanders. Obviously, Eagles would be at home. Bucks versus the Packers. Battle of the Bay, old NFC North rivalry when Tampa Bay was there. That would be in Tampa Bay, even though Tampa Bay only 8-6. And then the 4-5 matchup of Rams right now are in the 4th seed with.
Who
Vikings.
do you think Mr. Puncher would want to play the least out of that bunch?
Oh, it's got to be the Eagles.
Does it?
Kramer. I know what you're getting at. He's getting at Mike Evans. I don't want to play against Mike Evans.
I'm just saying. I don't think the Packers do well in Florida historically.
I will say he destroyed us last year. Although that was, we had Joe Barry. Even though his name should never be used, he's absolutely terrible. He's now the run game coordinator for the Dolphins, by the way, who absolutely, we lit them up. But I think we've got a good shot going in. Obviously, we went on a run last year, and last year, frankly, San Francisco looked much better than us, earlier in the season and everything. So, and yet we kind of outplayed them until the last, the end there. So yeah, I think we have a legitimate chance. We're in there. I think we're up there with any of these teams. If you looked at like tonight, they had like the combined records of the teams that we've lost to is like insane. Like, because we've only lost to the Lions.
I saw that graphic. It was like a Game of Thrones type graphic, and it was hyping up the Packers fans of like, look at this winning percentage of the teams you've played. And I just imagine you with that giant cheese fist that you have, like pounding it, going, yes, we are becoming playoff ready. All right, well, Puncher, good to hear from you.
I'm rooting for Eagles versus Packers. Means something positive will happen for me.
By the way, real quick, Kramer, I appreciate the past few weeks now you've been on the Packers.
I know,
like 3 or 4 weeks in a row.
You got to get him a cheese head. Send one to the office, Dick.
Well, yeah, as you know, I'm an objective handicapper. I still
100%.
I mean, Sean, you were saying out loud at the end of the game, like, God, Jordan. Yes, the Packers are playing good ball right now, but Jordan Love still is going to lose a playoff game. It's
he has a YOLO when you don't need a YOLO.
Yeah. My working theory is that I think there's a chance that he's checked some of this end game stuff is him making the read of, like you're saying, YOLO. Like, there's 2 options that are like conservative first down getters.
He's Jameis Winston, but doesn't need the LASIK. So he's above Jameis.
Where's Jordan Love from? Jordan, maybe he's Jameis from the north.
Oh, okay. The northern Jameis. All right, Dick. Good to hear from you. And let it ride.
Oh, he's from Bakersfield, California. All right. Yeah, I mean, he's Jameis from the west.
There you go. I like that. Yeah. Joining us on the line to recap the Lions versus the Bills. the mayor of Detroit Lion fandom. Easy. Bills get the win 48-42 and the cover. Wild back and forth game. You were a little nervous, it seemed like, coming into this game. How are we feeling now, Easy? You a little worried, right?
Yeah, I mean, what I thought was going to happen was pretty much what happened. I'm not worried necessarily that we lost. What I'm worried about is we lost more players on defense.
Yeah.
It seems like Aleem McNeil's probably done for the year, which is a huge hit. Carlton Davis messed up his jaw, I think I saw. So I don't know what's going on with that. Khalil Dorsey obviously is done for the year. That was a terrible injury. And it's bad when when it's a bad thing that Khalil Dorsey is done. I mean, he's like our fourth string guy and now he's out on top of it. We're so decimated on defense that when it comes to the playoffs, we're going to have to score 40 to stay in the game.
No, it's crazy. And I think, Dan Campbell saw that. And part of the reason I think he was so aggressive in that Green Bay game, especially late, was not only were the guys they missed coming into that game, and then they were banged up, and now it's more and more defensive injuries for this Detroit Lions team. You worry if you're facing off a team that can run the ball, that can have a mobile quarterback like the Bills have there. I think they were able to exploit your lack of linebackers. The running back, was it Ty Johnson was just all over the place because it seemed like a matchup nightmare for you guys. Do you think can they figure this out? I mean, the offense obviously is still very good. I guess maybe one of those touchdowns kind of late. They're playing soft, but I mean, they still put up 42 points. Is there anything they can adjust? Can they do? Like, where are you at with the Lions defense?
Yeah, so I'm not worried at all about the offense. I mean, I think that's obviously our strong point. I think the weaknesses on defense is we had no pass rush pretty much the entire game. And like you said, our linebackers are rough. And obviously Alex Anzalone being out hurts us. We also didn't have Nowaski, who's been big since Anzalone's injury. Now he just has a concussion, so he'll be back. Hopefully we get Anzalone back come playoff time, which will help, because the reason why Johnson gashed us so bad in this game was the only speed we had at linebackers was Jack Campbell. And we had to use him to spy on Josh Allen. So we had nobody for the linebackers. So we put Quan Alexander on him, who was on the couch 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So if we get Anzalone back, then we have Anzalone, Nowaski, and Jack Campbell. That gives us a little bit more speed to where it will be better. And then obviously the secondary, I think the secondary has been performing really well given the circumstance, because when you give the quarterback 10 and 12 seconds to throw the ball, obviously they're going to find a hole.
Yeah, no. And obviously Zadarius Smith, you're hoping would help the pass rush, but I think at this point there's only so much he can do. All right, Easy, before we let you go, any props you like for Monday Night Football?
Yeah, I do want to tout a little bit real quick. On the pregame show, I did the Amon-Ra ladder.
Yeah.
And he obviously went off, so cashed all the way up to plus 1,600 on that. And then
climb that beanstalk.
And then also one of the interceptions did hit with the Commanders hit early. And then it was looking good for the other two, but then the next two guys, Dante Jackson hurt in the first quarter.
Yeah.
And it just kind of fell apart from there.
I remember when Dante Jackson got hurt, and I thought, darn, there goes Easy's interception play. I hope he's okay.
Oh, wow.
Well, I hit 3 parlays on top of the Amon-Ra ladder, so I'm up just over 300 units today, so I'm all right.
Jeez.
No, I figured you're doing all right, but come at Jalen Hurts, a guy who doesn't throw interceptions.
Easy swimming in a room of units over there.
Yeah, you're drowning over there. Nice work, Easy. As always, great to hear from you. Sorry about your Lions / sorry, not sorry, because Eagles are tied now.
So
before we go,
what's the current scenario? Well, they're tied, but they don't have the tiebreaker.
Yeah,
correct?
Because of the conference record.
So they're not tied. So they're behind them.
Yeah, sure, but they have the same record. They're both 12-2, but Eagles 2 losses were in conference. Only one of the losses was in conference. So basically they just need the Lions to lose one of the next 3 games. Easy. Do the Lions get the number 1 seed?
I think it's going to come down to the Vikings game. I mean, obviously our last 3 are the Bears, who I think we can pretty easily beat. The 49ers, because their defense is healthy now, that's a little bit more of an issue. But with what happened last year in the playoffs, I think that's a big game for us to get up for. I think it's going to come down to that Vikings game. So I think we still get it, but it's gonna be tight. The fact that we're 12-2 and still fighting for the division like we are is insane.
Yeah, that's crazy too.
The Bears game is that one game we talked about when we were previewing this team. Well, they got to go outside a couple times late in the season, at Chicago, at San Francisco. This is that one kind of Jared Goff, bad weather.
Well, San Francisco
no, the Chicago game coming up next week. That's the one you circle and say, well, we'll see if the weather helps, but if they lose 2 in a row, oh shit.
Look out.
My division parlay with the Chiefs is somehow going to get cooked.
If we lose to the Bears, we're the 5 or 6 seed.
That's crazy. That's crazy. It's going to make for an exciting last 3 weeks here of the regular season. Easy, good to hear from you. As always, let it ride.
Appreciate y'all.
Got some more callers here. Anyone want to throw someone in a locker, Ryan? If you want to put someone in a locker, I would throw Geno Smith in a locker, but he was injured, and it feels like, and he just sucks. My belief in Geno Smith, that was on me. I was getting cute, trying to think outside the box, thinking, oh, Sean, maybe you weren't right about a lot of stuff before the season. Maybe you were wrong about this Seahawks team, but no, I was right. So just a reminder to listen to myself, because I'm usually right. Joining us on the line, AM/FM 901.
Whoa.
What's your name and where are you calling from? You're on the line, AM/FM 901 Discord user.
I wonder if that's some sort of
Is this
modern
like
day
I imagine a trucker who like hooked up his CB radio to the Discord channel. All right, we'll try and get to him later.
We get a CB radio.
Before we do that, shout out to mybookie.ag. Use that promo code SGPN. Get you a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. That's right. So fun over at mybookie.ag. Like I said, I loaded up some of that free play, Ryan, took it over on the props builder. Said I could get crazy or I could just unload a nice, big, healthy unit on AJ Brown anytime touchdown.
Oh, they're going to say 3 million to win like 400 grand.
Oh yeah. I mean, check it. I don't know what my bookies limits are. Talk to them. Maybe they're open to, I'm sure if you have enough cryptocurrency, they'll let you get down on that.
Like 15 Bitcoin.
Send it over.
30 Bitcoin.
30 Bitcoin. Which, oh man, back in the day, having 30 Bitcoin. MyBookie.ag, promo code SGPN. Get that sweet match. You get the $10 casino chip, fast crypto deposit, and fast, super easy deposit, withdrawal. Do it all over at mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. And also brought to you by Rebet. Rebet, fun new take on the sportsbook experience. And I know some of you are in states where you're like, oh, I can't get access to a sportsbook. Have you tried Rebet? Nice new approach to the sportsbook experience. Available in 45 states. That's right, 45 states. So really good chance your state is one of them. Go to Rebet in the App Store. Just open up the App Store, type in Rebet, and type in our promo code SGPN. Get you a 100% deposit match up to $100. That's Rebet, promo code SGPN. We got one more caller here on the line.
90%, Sean.
90%.
That's the chance that you're in a state where Rebet is available.
I like that. Quick math on that, Ryan.
No problem.
Zesus. This guy's a character. He's calling in. He's on the Discord. Zesus, what's happening?
Zesus the Messiah, baby, returning from the desert in a 6 fucking week grind, but we're here, baby.
Yes,
we at the green paradise. Let's go.
I like this. There's emotion coming.
He's
through
yelling
the line.
so much. His mic is peaking.
Like I gotta lower the
Where's
Zesus.
my money, boys? You hear me? You hear me? Where's
Zesus.
my fucking money?
It sounds like you had a good Sunday. What'd you cook up?
Honestly, man, it was my last play of the season. I did a bet it last week. I hit Ravens money line when the line was at -10, and I just been watching my cash out pop up all week. And it went to like an almost like 80-90% return net on the cash out. I was like, you know what? Nah, man, I want my extra 5 G's. I want that money. Let that shit ride. Cash early payout after halftime, baby. Done for the season. Going RH shopping on Saturday. Let's go, baby. Let it ride.
I like that.
All right.
I like the energy.
Zesus, the Messiah. Well, congrats on the great season, Zesus.
I'm glad. Yeah, enjoy. So what's next for you?
Honestly, man, I got to focus on some other things. I'll travel this year, but I'm a schedule in my calendar end of August. See my boys at SGPN and that Vegas special at the Circa. Maybe we'll do a little cooking together, put our heads together.
I like it.
For some more money next year, baby. Season 1 in the books. Round 2, we ain't done yet because Kobe says job ain't done yet. Let go.
All right. Thank you, Zezus. Good to hear from you. And of course,
strangely one of the most boss moves I've ever encountered.
I do like you just called in, basically like, yeah, I cleaned out the books. I'm done for the season. I got 3 more weeks left. I got the playoffs. I got Super Bowl. This guy's already on vacation, Ryan.
I mean, this is resting your starters week 16.
Yeah, he called his shot. No, and he said, I'm sure people are skeptical of his claims, but he's DM'd me a bunch of screenshots that look pretty good. So
no one lies on the. What's the point of lying? All right.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Okay.
I mean, Sean bets millions of dollars every week. He doesn't brag about it.
Oh man, that one guy was so mad that
Is he still trying to fight you?
There was a guy on the internet. Someone, last week with the person putting 3 million on the Eagles money line. And then, someone tweeted, I think it was our buddy Jared goes like, oh, that someone out there sweating this game. And then I quote tweeted and went easiest 400K I ever made. Laugh face emoji. And then this guy DMs me out of nowhere. He's like, why you laughing, bitch? Why you laughing? Why you lying? Why you lie? You liars. He goes, I'm going to choke you out for lying. I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? First off, I had a laughy face emoji. What are you talking about?
I like this guy wants to choke you out. He's an integrity. The integrity police are everywhere.
And JVT from VSiN had a great comment in the response. He goes, "Don't tempt me with a good time." Which I wish I just told him to fuck off. But JVT's was way wittier. All right, AMFM, you're on the line. Where are you calling from, and what's your name? Okay, he DM'd me, Ryan, saying that he was there.
He's here.
Okay, AMFM. All right. Moving on, Ryan.
Maybe he's not here.
I don't know. It's Discord, I'm sure. Hey, Rams going back to the Thursday night. Rams 12-6. No touchdowns scored. No major takeaways here except the 49ers are cooked, or are they? Now with Seattle losing, maybe they have a crazy shot to get into the playoffs. Rams right now if the season ended today, Rams would win the NFC West, which it's been a wild ride.
Who are you favoring here? Like who gets it?
I still I like the Rams from the beginning, and I'll stick with the Rams.
Are at Jets, Cardinals at home, Seahawks at home. So this will get settled on the field the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, it does feel like it'll be Seahawks Rams for the division week 18, which will be an awesome game.
Well, it is worth noting the Cardinals play the Panthers next week in Carolina, so that's the different game. I think it's going to come down to Arizona, LA week 17, and then LA, Seattle week 18. I think San Francisco is the only team that literally has zero chance in my mind.
Terrell saying he was here in AM/FM, so maybe there was something on our end there with the call, but yeah, my takeaway, I still think the Rams are the team to beat in the NFC West. So we'll see there. Washington 20, Saints 19. This was, I picked the Commanders laying the 7.5. Didn't end up really doing anything with this game. I mean, Washington should have won by a lot more. Terry McLaurin had some drops. I don't even know how the Saints were hanging around in that game. Washington tries to do that thing where they ice the game by going for it on 4th down. They don't get it. Then all of a sudden, Rattler's shaking his tail down the game.
It got spicy.
Yeah, there was a couple things worth noting here at the end of the game. One, the clock hung on 9 seconds. The Saints got it down to the 1 yard line. They didn't have a timeout. They wasted a timeout. Fucking Rizzy. It's like they're running the 2-minute drill. They have one timeout and they run like a random run play with 34 seconds left, and he burns his last timeout. They should have had a timeout. There were idiots with their clock management, but the clock hung on 9 for 4 seconds.
I don't think it mattered.
I still think I'm with you. I still think they got the spike off in time, but it was close.
I think this is just people who, like, first of all, the people that are saying Vegas made a call. Well, after the game, the official basically said someone made a mistake. Okay. And if there was going to be some sort of corruption or cheating, maybe look at the home team who's actually been caught up in multiple cheating scandals. Like, it's not the NFL. If anything, it was the Saints. But no, I don't think I kind of in real time noticed the clock hiccup. We might have even said something in the room, Sean, but it didn't. I don't think it affected them getting the clock stopped at all. Their clock management is what cost them that chance to win. You know, whatever you want to call it.
I'm going to call out Jason Whitlock because Jason Whitlock loves calling out other people. But then
what did he say?
Well, this is just a complete clown show because he shares the video. And he goes, Vegas stops the clock so Saints can get a playoff.
I'm out.
NFL should have to answer for this. The last score impacted a lot of gamblers, but no one, especially the media, will address this obvious illegality. First off, Jason Whitlock.
Illegality.
Everyone will talk about it. The NFL already issued a statement regarding it. The ref said he fucked up. I don't think Vegas was actually adjusting the clock. If there was anything crooked going on, it was possibly the clock operator for the Saints. They should look into it. I agree. But then let's go back to this score impacted a lot of gamblers. That number 7.5 was painted everywhere. The Saints were going to cover this game regardless. They were going for 2.
It was a 7-point game with this.
Yeah, sorry, right? They hadn't gotten the touchdown yet. It was before the 2 point, so they were going to cover the plus 7.5 regardless, and it didn't impact the total. So you can't say it impacted a lot of gamblers if it didn't impact the side or the total. And Jason, you're in too deep. If you don't know the side or total, and you're giving gambling advice, stay the fuck in your lane, bro. And then let's go back.
83% of the handle at the circa was on the Saints, for what it's worth.
Yeah.
So
Vegas knows, right? And then he reshares it by saying, does the clock stop on a first down in the last 2 minutes of each half in the NFL as of last season? I've read 2 different things.
What?
Yeah, no, the clock does not stop. What are you talking about? This is how can you say you're an expert in sports when not?
There's video of this. You see, so the ref,
he's quote tweeting the video.
Yeah,
of the ref.
No, the ref makes the signal to stop the clock. He then realizes it's incorrect, winds the clock, and that there's video evidence of why the clock stopped and why it started again. So I don't know. This is also. I mean, I remember when Whitlock was like a respected sports journalist.
I mean, it's just a random microcosm, but it's just like, dude, what are you talking about?
He fancies himself a smart guy, though. That's the dumbest fucking take I've ever heard.
He just lectures everyone else for not. He was just lecturing Bill Simmons for like not knowing what he's talking about. The irony here. As far as the game, love the Saints going for it. Hey, fuck it, your season's over. Go for 2. I don't mind that. What I do mind is the play call. You ran that sprint right option to get the touchdown. Great call. And you can't run the exact same play for the 2 point. They saw it coming a mile away.
Yeah. I think if there's one thing I wish I could transfer my brain into, like, I feel like my ability to score inside the 5-yard line in Madden is greater than most NFL offensive coordinators. They all, it's like they have to run a play that they whipped up in practice this week. What? I mean, Sean, you played Madden. Yeah. Everyone has like the 3 plays that they run around the goal line that all look the same. I just don't understand why these teams have to roll out these special plays and these plays that obviously are never going to fucking work. It's like a jet sweep.
Yeah. And I'm sure some people had the 7 and would have liked the push. And yeah, the NFL messed up, but to say like that
how long was this game sitting on 7?
I don't think very long. Guy on Twitter is saying he had it at 7. I'm sure there's some. I mean, if it's our audience, right?
Maybe you bought it.
I'm sure there's some people who had 7. I didn't see a 7 this whole week. But again, I wasn't watching that number.
Now I'm gonna look this fucking thing up.
Look up the price history, Ryan.
I'm doing it right now.
We're teaching Jason Whitlock a thing or 2.
Well, it's annoying because he, again,
it's annoying when he says it because he's He's the guy that would lecture everyone about not knowing the facts.
Looks like back on the 8th, it was 7 at Westgate.
Yeah.
Like,
come on.
Yeah.
Houston Texans 20, Miami 12. Texans get the win, but I would say kind of ugly win. They were fortunate that Tua just threw them the game for the most part, right, Ryan?
I mean, in a way, this is kind of what I expected. The defense, in the end, took care of it. The Miami offense, and at this point, like, I am getting much closer to your opinion that the scheme is completely cooked. It's all these gimmick like screen passes that require a couple broken tackles to take it the distance or make a big play.
He doesn't have any deep stuff left. He just doesn't.
I can't tell if this was just, I mean, I did highlight how I thought the defensive line matchup for the Texans could make it difficult for the Dolphins, and it did do that.
I mean, the Miami leading receiver was Malik Washington. That's with Tyreek Hill out there. Now Waddle did get banged up.
But even the Texans, like I thought the
Texans look bad. Like,
but I thought they forgot about Joe Mixon. I thought when
but also he wasn't running effective. He was 12 for 23.
But dude, we've watched this Texans team. It was like they were running different plays. And Nico Collins being back is key. I think this team is like, that was a fine.
I'm not excited about this Texans.
That
team
was
at
a
all.
fine performance coming out of the bye. But the big question for me is still CJ Stroud.
Yeah, I think they're off. I think their defense was solid, and that's why I liked bet the Texans was their defense there. But
what matchup are you? I mean, we were talking with Decker earlier. If the Chargers play the Texans in the playoffs, we're on the Chargers, no brainer.
Probably, although Chargers,
no brainer.
I mean, Chargers did let up 40 at home.
It's one game. Harbaugh, great coaching moments.
Yeah, I like Harbaugh against CJ Stroud, but I also liked Harbaugh against Baker, and Baker and the Bucks balled out there in the second half. I still scratching my head.
Next week, all right, so I mean, are we completely out of Miami? We're already kind of completely out of Miami, but now they have the Niners next week at home.
Oh man,
are we sure we're completely out? Dolphins -2.5.
Oh God,
you see the position we're going to be in.
Yeah,
just get ahead of it. Start thinking about it now.
Gonna wrap my head around that. Very ugly game. Jacksonville Jaguars 25, Jets 32. Aaron Rodgers gets you the win. We hit on that nice prop ladder for the McCorkle Jones, and
what a game.
He had a chance there. Jets did the dumb thing and scored the touchdown with 50 seconds left, giving the Jags. I mean, the Jags had 2 timeouts. They had guys wide open. If McCorkle could have thrown a few more accurate passes, he eventually did throw an interception, just comically overthrew some guys. I still like McCorkle running the ball because he's running for his life out there. Not much to take away. Jets still look really bad, although they did get this win. So hats off to the Jets.
Yeah, Devontae Adams put up a nice day.
Yeah, he did. He hit that deep ball, and
Aaron Rodgers was running around, lowering his shoulder a little bit. Like what?
Aaron Rodgers rushing stuff is pretty interesting.
Is he trying out for the next team?
This game was bonkers. Cincinnati Bengals 37, Titans 27. One of my locks came through. Cincy laying the 5. Man, this was an insane game. If you didn't watch it, certainly one of the more entertaining games of the slate.
Constant holy shit.
Like, wow. I mean, I could not believe how many turnovers there were. Like, I bet it. My thesis was, and I locked it up because I thought, okay, Will Levis is going to throw some interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to get them involved, and he did. He got a pick 6 going. I don't think he had to pick 6. They had to scoop and score a fumble. Will Levis threw 3 interceptions. Mason Rudolph came in. He was good for an interception. This was just
this game
hilarious.
was 7-0 and 14-7 in favor of the Titans in the first quarter. I mean,
and if you listen to the Beeson show and we were breaking that down, I said this Titans team is great in the first quarter. If you can find a market that says Titans win the first quarter, Bengals win game, I said get down on that one. Burrow threw 2 interceptions and also lost a fumble. It was like right on the edge, but insane amount of turnovers. I think there was 9 for the game, and which ended up being, I think this play counted as 2 turnovers. I think this was one where they intercepted Will Levis. They were about to run it in for the touchdown. One of 2 times this happened today, and the defender drops the ball. Literally
unreal.
He runs it in, and I'm about to tweet out, "Oh man, I should have played Bengals 2 defensive touchdowns. It was so obvious." And I'm about to hit send on the post, and they're like, "Oh wait, no, he dropped it right at the goal line. He was transferring it to his other hand and it fell out." It's insane.
The fact that happened twice today.
Twice, yes. Also, Jonathan Taylor. I never understand this period, but at least
just hold on to it the whole time.
Yeah, I mean,
Mike Evans carries it all the way to the side.
If you're a defensive player who doesn't touch the ball very often,
unreal.
Okay, but Jonathan Taylor did it. You're a starting running back. You touch it like 15, 20 times a game. Crazy. So nice win, nice cover. Very wild game. This was a great matchup. Real back and forth affair. Ravens 35, Giants 14. I'm just kidding. Ravens, that was easy. I wish I had 3 locks because Ravens would have been another one.
Very cool. I mean, if Tim Boyle comes in any earlier, this might be a serious game. Back door was open. They're flying planes over the stadium again.
What was this week's message?
I feel like I should read the. I don't want to get it wrong, but it does involve a call to fire everyone.
Really?
So I guess it'll be an interesting definition of everyone. Mr. Mara, enough space dash space. They're pulling this behind a plane and they paid for a dash. I assume you have to pay per character. Mr. Mara, enough. We won't stop until you fire everyone. For a long time, there's been this gimmick amongst like the Giants fandom that the new stadium sucks and that someone like they've been terrible since they've been in this new stadium. That someone should just burn down the new stadium.
What?
Because it's been horrible. And if someone burns it down, then they have to build a new one. And so I think
I like blaming the stadium,
but like this feels a little 7. Like we got these planes flying over the top and it's a we won't stop until you fire. Who is this we?
Yeah.
This feels a little bit like Colby yelling at the clouds.
And just going back to the Cincinnati Bengals game real quick. Everyone knows Macaulay Culkin kind of looks like Joe Burrow there, or the other. What?
What do you mean? He literally no. It's funny. Macaulay Culkin actually went as Joe Burrow for Halloween this year.
So it's a known thing. And then our buddy Sully, who's a huge fan of Home Alone, pointed out, "Hey, did they caught the guys who broke into Joe Burrow's house? It was the Wet Bandits," and he had some great Home Alone angles. So we got our buddy Jake to work up what a Photoshop of next time those burglars come to break in at Christmas. Joey B is going to be ready there with these. I mean, some of the torture that he put those guys through, Ryan. In hindsight, he was very mean, Macaulay Culkin.
It's a great movie.
All right. So anything else to add? Ravens, Giants, 34-5-14. Do you want them to fire everyone, Ryan? What would you like?
I mean, I would say in general, when you're observing an organization, you have to see how it can handle adversity. And I would say that there's very low grades for adversity right now. So, scorched earth.
Okay,
fire everyone.
Chiefs 21, Browns 7. Kind of an ugly game. Nothing too exciting. Chiefs played pretty good defense. Jameis, didn't look great. Some bad interceptions.
The punt drop, the muff punt really kind of set the tone. Yeah. This Chiefs, it's just they continue to do it. Yeah, they continue to spread their ass cheeks.
They finally covered a game, although it felt like DTR maybe was going to do something late there. And then the big news: Carson Wentz is back, baby. Patty Mahomes deal with an ankle injury. I saw he was like limping off. I saw somebody tweeted that Patrick Mahomes impersonated his dad trying to walk a straight line, which was his DUI history.
Yikes.
Eye test. This didn't feel like a super serious ankle injury to me, but the Chiefs do have kind of a.
I don't know. He took more than one hit. I know he's generally been tough and played through stuff, but
this is interesting because they do have a number out, and it's the Chiefs are home dogs. They have a Saturday game, early kickoff, 10 a.m. on the West Coast, 1 o'clock East. I'll double check that that's the right time, but I think it actually might be later. I'm looking at the wrong thing, but Texans Chiefs Saturday game.
No, it's 10 a.m.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Cause I thought that's weird that they're playing that early. Usually they do like a 1 o'clock and then like a 4 o'clock.
Could it be due to college football playoff games?
Oh, you're right. Maybe that's why. Cause I feel like normally they do these games later. So Texans Chiefs, you can bet on the Chiefs as a dog catching 2.5 points. Now that to me is the classic splitting the line of half Carson Wentz, half Patrick Mahomes, not 100%. Like,
what's the number if Mahomes is healthy in your mind?
I would say, yeah, Chiefs by 4.
Yeah, I think we're talking ourselves into this being a little bit more than halfway, maybe.
No, yeah,
just
it's
short,
not exactly halfway.
It's just short of the 3.
Yeah, I think
but it's more than halfway, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I think if Wentz is named the starter, this gets above 3. 100%.
Yeah, to me, and we're seeing some 3s out there. So
I think if
that indicates to me he's going to miss a game.
Well, and that's what I was going to get at here with the schedule, because they have this game on Saturday, then they have that weird Wednesday Christmas Day game against the Steelers in Pittsburgh, which they might need for the number 1 seed. I mean, they really can't, because the Bills are breathing down their neck. And you want that bye week, but then do you risk playing Patrick Mahomes? What do you do here, Rod?
I could see I'm 100% going to be on a Carson Wentz home dog situation.
I'll say this: as soon as mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN, as soon as any book you have access to opens touchdown props, fire on Carson Wentz anytime touchdown, because hey, if he plays, it's going to be a good bet. If he doesn't play, fine. It's you're pushed out. But if you can get access, Carson Wentz anytime touchdown, smash it.
Smash it.
Now they probably will hold off to the last second to offer props, but smash it whenever you can.
Smash. Oh man. The chat's really going to enjoy Carson Wentz being back.
This is great because Brad Martin, friend of the program, lives in Kansas, hates the Chiefs. He calls them the Kansas City Queefs. Shout out to you, Brad. Shout out to everyone else at the Home Depot Center there. He's saying, "Let the Carson Wentz era begin," which is only something a Chiefs hater would say.
Yeah, Well, you never know. He could be the perfect kind of 1 game YOLO guy. Primetime YOLO guy. I mean, Carson Wentz first touchdown, obvious play happening if he's starting.
Nasty woman in the chat saying Butker missing wide left is hilarious because he's so far right. Great line there by you, nasty woman. Yeah, he missed a 24-yarder coming back from injury there. This is interesting because I could definitely see this Chiefs defense carrying them for a little bit, but for how long, how injured is the ankle? Certainly going to be interesting because both number 1 seeds, the Chiefs and the Lions, a lot of questions right now.
Banged up, but they've banked a lot of wins.
Yeah, but not that much breathing room.
No breathing room.
Yeah, exactly.
The difference is the Chiefs have a little breathing room in the division. Like it's not the same scenario where they drop to a 6 seed or whatever, 5 seed. So yeah, but look, I would not play Mahomes. We got the division.
Especially you got a Wednesday game. That's crazy.
It's like we're gonna figure it out. You got to rest Mahomes. You need Mahomes in 4 weeks, not next week.
But now you have to talk to Carson Wentz and be like, "Don't turn the ball over. We're gonna play defense. We're gonna let CJ Stroud turn the ball over."
Come on, we've seen Andy Reid do this with a quarterback. In general, I mean, Carson, they'll figure out a way where Carson Wentz isn't being asked to do too much, and they're pounding the rock. They're better at that anyway.
Yes, 100% agree.
What's going on over there?
No, I'm just checking in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Chat's fired up. Mojo was mad at me. Sean, do you still somehow think the Seahawks are even close to the Pack's level? LMAO.
Try to tell you.
Yeah, I mean the whole
pack.
The whole start of the show is me eating crow on that
pack, go.
So yeah, I was off on believing in the Seahawks this week, but I was right in not liking the Seahawks to begin the season.
Yeah, going forward. I would like everyone to know that I'm identifying as a Packers fan who hates Jordan Love. I'm getting ahead of that curve. When the rest of you want to join me, I'll feel free to reach out.
Cowboys 30, Panthers 14. Disgusting game. Bryce Young sucks still. I know it was fun. The chat, everyone saying like, hey,
he's
Bryce
back.
Young, not
so
that
small.
bad.
So
hey, that was a
small.
nice wake up call. Look at him. He was still tiny. He was tiny. That was his problem.
He can't overcome being
like
tiny.
whoever jarred that ball loose out of him, it was like a regular shot. It makes you appreciate guys like Josh Allen, guys like Jalen Hurts, who are built like, brick shit houses and just can take a ton of shots.
I feel like
that's what you do in the NFL.
I feel like I could jack Bryce Young up.
See, now normally I'm the one who says crazy stuff, but I agree with you. Bryce Young looks tiny.
I feel like I could put Bryce Young through a fucking door.
Sounds like you want to after locking him up.
Kinda, yeah.
It was
the way he smiles too and talks like he wants to go play Magic the fucking Gathering. Like, where'd this guy come from? How did he play at Alabama, Sean?
I don't know.
This guy was playing with the baddest motherfuckers on the planet.
Very hilarious.
How?
You know who else played at Alabama? Jalen Hurts, 27-13. God. Just opens up his press conference. He's like, "That's what you wanted. That's what you got." Impressive game by Jalen Hurts. A great win, top to bottom. Although I would say special teams, bit of an issue. Cooper DeJean fumbled. Yeah, I would say that was an issue. But the defense, again, why I was so high on this game, I thought the offense would respond, play better. But really, it was me. Just like, this defense is the best defense in the NFL. Feel confident saying that. And a Steelers team coming on the road, especially without Pickens, like, they were never going to have a shot to put up any points. The Steelers only had 11 plays in the second half, only 2 drives. Eagles are just like a python. They surround boa constrictor. They surround you and just squeeze the life out of you. It was awesome. I love this brand of football, and yeah, go Birds. Kramer, any thoughts?
Any credit to practicing and watching celebrations, enjoying celebrations, happiness?
No, I know you're trying to shit on him, Ryan, but like,
what do you mean?
No, you're making fun.
I'm asking a question.
Yeah,
some people are wondering.
No, you're trying to get me worked up, and I'll say, as a team that has a good culture, a team that has a winning culture, I know that's what the Giants are trying to build there with Brian Daboll. Came nowhere close to establishing a winning culture.
That question made you think of the Giants.
No, I'm just saying other teams that would make fun of this stuff don't know what it's like to build a winning culture. And if you listen to the beat reporters, this team is locked in, it's focused, and it has a chip on its shoulder. A lot of times you don't see a team that's 12-2 that has a chip on its shoulder, but because of people like yourself, like other haters out there saying, "Oh, the
journalists."
The Steelers are gonna get it done. Oh, Nick Sirianni, he's a crazy retard who shaved his head. There, Jalen Hurts, he's a bum. He can't throw the football. All that noise is like putting a fire underneath this Eagles team, and it's fun to watch. So to the haters, thank you, salute, thank you. Please keep sending that hate. Keep sending that hate. I'm dehydrated and I need some haterade. Keep sending it, baby. Let's go. Love it. Love it. I mean,
do we have any sort of inside intel on which comic book hero AJ Brown will use next time he wants to complain and throw a tantrum?
He didn't
and get his way.
He didn't throw a tantrum. He's a good player and he had a great game.
Okay. So no intel.
On to Washington.
Last one, Saquon Barkley creeps closer and closer to 400 touches. Any concerns? Maybe sit him down for a couple weeks so he's healthy for the playoffs.
They might be able to. Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully they get the bye week, or like you said, I feel like they're going to have a bye week either way, either by getting the number 1 seed or not having to play starters against your sorry ass Giants team. So
okay.
Buffalo Bills 48, Detroit Lions 42. We kind of hit on that game, but that was a fun back and forth. Broke it down there with easy. We got to talk about this game though. Denver Broncos 31, Indianapolis Colts 13. This was, I mean, I was questioning whether or not I believed Ryan, but that's what's great about betting on this Broncos team. Just when you start to doubt them, you remember you're still a believer.
This is one of the luckiest games to cover by such a wide margin.
Well,
I've never been a part of a game where I thought I should be. There were times where I'm like, oh yeah, we're fucking losing this. Like in my head, we were losing the Broncos game, and we were up 11. Unbelievable fumbling of the bag by the Colts, and just the horseshoe that should be on the boot of the Bronco is just squarely up the ass of this Bronco. Unreal.
And it was crazy because
just get out of the way. Are they winning a playoff game?
Yeah.
No, they can't win a playoff game.
If you watch this team,
stop.
Now, Bo
in
Nix,
Buffalo, get out of here.
If there's anyone to pull a game out of their ass in round one, it's going to be this Broncos
in Kansas City.
Broncos, their defense played well. They didn't start out great. They didn't do a great job of slowing down Anthony Richardson running, especially early. They eventually kind of figured it out, put him in some spots to pass. But on the offensive side, they were moving the ball. But Bo Nix, 3 interceptions, looked really rough. And then the play that swung the game was Jonathan Taylor dropping the ball as he went into the end zone. It was
unreal.
It was 13-7. They ran it in the end zone. The Broncos go down 20-7, or and then I saw it was on the side TV. I look back at another game watching Red Zone, and then I look back and I see the Broncos had the ball. I assumed that they had kicked the extra point, kicked it off, and then I said to Decker and you, I go, that's a typo on the score, right? Because I just watched Jonathan Taylor running in the end zone, the touchdown thing pop up.
It was like a little kid finding more presents.
I was
under
like, wait, what?
Tree.
It's actually 13-7, and immediately when that happened, I go, "Oh my god, they're gonna win this game and get the cover." And then
not even
the
close.
trick play where they threw it back to and Ryan. You know what really screwed us on the Anthony Richardson completions? He had this horrible play in the end zone that he threw that hit the guy's hand and it came right back to him.
Yeah, he got one.
He got a completion to himself.
It would have been better if he went 16. So it was like the one.
But he did have one other one. But they did this double pass play. Where they threw it to the receiver behind the line of scrimmage, and then Anthony Richardson goes back and
Adonai Mitchell should never have thrown that pass back.
Well, Donnie Mitchell doesn't know how to read a defense. He's a Donnie Mitchell, and so he throws it. And
if you watch the
Broncos linebacker's like, "Oh my god, it's coming right to me," and just runs in the end zone. It was beautiful. It was awesome.
Easiest touchdown that guy's ever gonna score.
That was the craziest.
31-13, Sean. They should have lost the game outright. 21 points in the fourth quarter.
Crazy.
Unreal. That other thing unreal. That was a playoff game too. Colts basically eliminated, right?
Yeah. I think they're in trouble.
Not totally, but basically.
Bucks 40, Chargers 17. I like the Bucks. I like the Chargers coming off the loss. I thought they would show up. Yeah, they just got work. There was like a lack of physicality in the second half, which you don't normally see from Harbaugh's teams.
They look tired.
And you're right. I thought they could exploit the Tampa Bay secondary, because there's been moments with this Tampa Bay defense where it's really flat, but they played well. It was more just this Chargers defense couldn't get a pass rush on Baker, and obviously Mike Evans just ate them up.
Well, I think this was like it highlighted their issues.
Yeah.
Mike Evans ate up that young secondary.
Yep.
And on the flip
Bucky
side,
Irving, who I didn't think was going to play, 15-117.
On the flip side, they couldn't beat a weak secondary because they don't have the dogs at receiver, and that was very clear.
And Justin Herbert.
Sure, but this is when when your number one dude is a white guy named Ladd. You don't have the talent on the outside to beat every team, and I think Todd Bowles didn't respect it.
Yeah,
and he played defense accordingly.
I think both are true. I think this if the Chargers are going to get to that next level to like maybe win a championship, they need like 3 or 4 guys on both sides of the ball.
Sure,
like
year 2 of Harbaugh will be much better.
A couple drafts, they might be pretty good, but I think there's a little small dog floating around Herbert.
Do the Chargers make the playoffs?
If they would have won that game, they would have locked it up. But I'm pretty sure they still.
Broncos at home. There'll be a lot of Broncos fans in that one. At Patriots. Oh my goodness. Can you imagine the Chargers blowing that one, Sean? On the road, cold game in New England. And then they close out the season at Raiders. Could the Raiders spoil a guard? Yeah, look, they're probably in. I got to imagine they're going to be, unless they got the Texans. I can't imagine I'm going to like the Chargers. And to your point, like Herbert, maybe he doesn't have it.
It's a little small dog in him. This game it was probably the least interesting because there was an awesome late slate. Probably the smallest locked into this game. Cardinals roll 30-17. This could have been a lock, Ryan. Your Cards get it done against New England, who again, I know everyone says Drake May is good, but would like to see him do it in non-garbage time a little bit.
This should have been a game that you could have done something in. I know Arizona's defense has been playing better. But.
Yeah, I'm saying if you're a good rookie quarterback, you can do a little bit more. And I know it's
on the road, but you're coming off a bye.
It's 30-17, but it didn't. I mean, they had like 3 points for most of the game.
Never had a chance. They never had a chance.
No. And people were talking about people are talking about them as like the sexy once again, no big dogs barking, Ryan.
No.
Dog.
I mean, who are the dogs that won outright? Tampa Bay. So again, as people always and Buffalo is a dog, but that's like 2. Other than that, Rams. It's crazy this year. Like none of these 3 to 6 point dogs are remember the beginning of the season, there were these massive 10 and 11 point dogs, and then that well dried up, and it's like nothing.
You calling for a Monday night dog parlay?
Certainly. I mean, if you like both favorites Monday night, you got to be a little nervous just because we know how those things go. Hey, have you guys signed up Underdog Fantasy? If not, what are you waiting for? Go to underdogfantasy.com. Use the promo code SGPN. Get you a 50% deposit bonus up to $1,000. Bonus cash. Who doesn't like bonus cash? It's my favorite kind of cash. Love me some Underdog Fantasy. Having a lot of fun with it. We'll give you out an Underdog Fantasy for Monday night as we break down our props. Head over to underdogfantasy.com. Promo code SGPN. Kramer, what's your first prop?
Oh, I'll give you a fantasy. All right.
Okay. Weird flex, but all right.
That's what we're doing later in the show, right? We're giving out fantasies. All right. So first game that kicks is the Chicago Minnesota game. I'll start there. We discussed the ladder on the prop show, but Caleb Williams rushing yards. He's done this 4 straight games. We have to sound the alarm. It's still 24.5, Sean.
Yeah.
It's still a smash over. I watch the games, and he might even be one where you want to take it with the under on the rushing attempts. I think there's a version of this where he has 3 to 4 rushes. There's a 15 to 20 yarder in there, and he gets over with limited carries. So
yeah, I'll take Caleb Williams over 223.5 passing yards.
Oh.
I think they're going to be able to throw on this Viking secondary. I mean, you saw that game script against Minnesota, against Atlanta. Like you can take it receivers that are good, and I do think the Bears have 3 pretty good receivers. And for me, yeah, I like the Keenan Allen ladder. Gave that out on VSiN. That's fun. I'm certainly going to be on that. But yeah, I like the Caleb Williams over passing yards. Just covers you a lot of ways. 223.5 feels very doable in this game. So yeah, give me Caleb over 223.5 passing yards.
Would you put it together in a? I wonder how the correlation would treat throwing the rushing and the passing.
Yeah, or maybe just play the rushing passing combined. I don't know.
All right, next up. In this game, I like the running backs with the receiving yards. Aaron Jones going against this Bears defense, who, by the way, they just played. Sean, Aaron Jones went 3 for 23. His receiving yards number this week is 15.5. You look at what Guerrero did on a couple catches, 50 yards last week. Before that, Montgomery and Gibbs both got to this number over. We've seen Josh Jacobs get there. Just basically been a printing press to take over on the receiving yards for the running back against the Bears. So we'll do it with Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones. Yeah, no, he I think he'll be involved a ton there. For me, I mean, Ryan, I love this piece of trivia. When was the last time Kirk Cousins threw a passing touchdown?
Like that.
Was that in 2023?
It was this year.
Oh,
and it was November 3rd. We need to get something in our office. It's been like 45 days since Kirk Cousins last threw an interception. Sorry, a touchdown. But it's also the last time he had a game without throwing an interception. Ryan, 4 games in a row, 8 interceptions. Kirk Cousins INT is loading. -125. Shop around. Find the best price on that. I think Underdog probably has it as one of the. We'll see if they discount it that much, but yeah, Kirk Cousins INT, he's cooked all day. Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, we need a time since incident board.
Yeah,
with a big reset button. All right, I have jumping over to the nightcap / the game that starts 30 minutes later. I discussed, and I will be discussing this guy in the first touchdown market, but Michael Mayer's receiving yards number, Sean, it's 13.5. Did you watch the game last week? I mean, I know you did, but that was for the audience. 68 yards.
Yeah, I thought that was a rhetorical question.
Yeah, no, he had 68 yards. What? Did you not hear Antonio Pierce talking about this guy? Fucking loves this guy. So yeah, over 13.5 receiving yards. Michael Mayer.
Yeah, I don't trust Antonio Pierce as far as I could throw him.
Oh,
but I do like.
You can't throw him very far.
I do like Mayer.
How far could you throw Antonio Pierce?
I could get him off the ground.
Could you?
Yeah,
he's pretty thick.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, it's not going to be a far toss.
You think you can get him a yard?
I did Greco-Roman wrestling through most of middle school.
Would you try to get him up over your head and do like a press thing?
No, I mean, I guess it depends.
Hip throw?
Yeah, it's a hip toss.
Okay.
I guess it depends what you consider a throw, but for me,
could you hip toss a human more than a couple yards?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't trust him, because I can't throw him that far. That was the whole premise.
No, I know.
I could throw.
Never really thought about the idea of how far you could throw a human. That's all.
Well, it's that's the whole point. You can't throw a human very far.
Now Rock, he could probably throw him pretty far.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if Rock throwing Kevin Hart, that should be like instead of New Year's Rockin' Eve.
Yeah.
We should just have. You know how they do like for a bachelor party, they'll do dwarf tossing.
Yeah.
Imagine like that's the best version of it, right? The Rock showing up, Kevin Hart's like wearing Kevin Hart's wearing a helmet and he's just like throwing them around the room.
Yeah.
It's like they set up some bowling pins. Could be a fun thing to Vegas. I'll pitch this to Derek.
It's
Ryan.
like lawn darts.
See if Circuit can get this going.
Kevin Hart darts. Kevin Hart's.
Yeah,
there you go.
For me, this is another smash play. Smash! This Atlanta secondary again. Also, I mean, just watch that Atlanta Minnesota game. Like neither one of these secondaries is very good. Addison and Addison and Justin Jefferson combined for 5 touchdowns. Jacoby Myers, I think, is going to have a very good game, regardless of who's there at quarterback. I'm going to take his over receiving yards. We'll call it at 61.5 receiving yards. But that one. Even if Desmond Ridder plays, there's a lot of scenarios where they're going to be behind and have to throw a little bit. But Aiden O'Connell's not lighting the world on fire, but he's been very consistent. Jacoby Myers, 67, 97, 121, 28, 105, 52, 72. So he's a pro. He's there. He's a big part of the offense. He is more of a yards guy than touchdowns, but they're going to be able to move the ball against this suspect Falcons defense. So Jacoby Myers over 61.5 receiving yards, Caleb Williams over 223.5 passing yards, and Kirk Cousins to throw an interception. Kramer, what do you like for your first touchdowns?
All right, first game. big game hunting here. We're going with guys who get snaps, long prices. They just played each other. Maybe we see some different looks. Mercedes Lewis is 150 to 1, Sean.
Yep. Put him on my list.
CJ Ham on the Viking side, 90 to 1.
Okay.
The hamster. I don't think.
Muscle
Hamster. Remember when there was a guy in the league? Yeah, the muscle hamster. Then we were doing Caleb Williams. Of course, I'm playing the rushing touchdown angle, 24 to 1, and Sam Darnold, 21 to 1. He's been willing. He's been a willing runner, and I think Lions just lost. Maybe that pushed a little bit extra Iggy here. So both quarterbacks and some long shot third string tight end / fullbacks. And for the other game, I guess I'll just fire that too. Defenses, you got to play them. Both. I mean, Ritter, sure, you can talk up that spot, but also Kirk Cousins equally as bad. They're both 40 to 1, Sean. Defense only. Then I'm playing Michael Mayer, as we discussed. Sean, that price all the way up to 34 to 1. People do not buy in on.
You gave it out 25 to 1 in the
all the way up to 34 to 1.
The Fade Kramer gang is
unbelievable. And Sean, I know it just happened.
Yeah,
but I was a little surprised to see the no touchdown in this game was 100 to 1.
Really?
Yeah. So that's my first touchdown in that game.
All right. So for me, Bears versus Vikings, I got Johnny Munt.
Oh, nice one.
Little Munt of the litter. 34 to 1. He's they're calling him the next Josh Oliver.
Why did you pick him over Oliver? Just curious.
He's kind of due.
Okay.
And eye test. Jalen Naylor, also a guy that's on my list here, 29 to 1. You got to play Caleb Williams, 24 to 1, and then Mercedes Lewis at 150 to 1 for the old guys in the back. That's a fun one. For the Raiders Falcons game, I got Amir Abdullah 40 to 1. To me, any of the Amir Abdullah stuff, his anytime is very interesting as well. He's going to get work. Sincere McCormick, you're telling me it's just going to be his backfield? I don't think so.
Can't trust the bell cow words from the Raiders.
No, if anything we've learned, you don't believe anything Antonio Pierce has to say. No. Look at the snap count. Amir Abdullah is going to be a part of this offense. I think at the very least, it's worth the dice roll considering how crazy his pricing is compared to Sincere McCormick. I mean, Brian, we follow the league. Had you heard of Sincere McCormick before 2 weeks ago?
I want to say the answer is probably because he's a UTSA guy, and I'm just hearing Colby as we're talking about the 15th game on a slate, talking about Sincere McCormick. I want to say, but no, of course not. Not enough. Sean, he's a Long Beach guy.
Oh, okay.
Raiders. Antonio Pierce calling the army together.
Yeah, he's not established enough to me where it's like, all right, Abdullah has no chance. Whatever. I think Abdullah's going to get some shots there.
Sincere McCormick is 5'8.5", 205 pounds. How many times did he get the bench press up at the combine?
38.
21.
Oh wow.
Whoa, 38.
Yeah, it's probably jacked. You're in the NFL.
38 would have been a lot.
Okay,
that's a tremendous amount.
Sorry, I don't have. So you're shaming my bench?
No. I'm just saying, like, that's a lot of reps on the, doing 225.
Yeah, well, you set it up as like, wow, this guy put up a really high number.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, 21. I mean, you want to talk how many times I could throw it up?
I mean, Aaron Donald did 32 reps on the bench press.
Yeah, and Aaron Donald's soft. So
Aaron Donald's pretty strong.
Okay.
Pretty strong guy. I don't think you would say that if Aaron Donald was here. Anyway.
All right. Let's see what else I got here for my at Falcons versus Raiders. Amir Abdullah 40 to 1. Kirk Cousins 55 to 1.
No, what?
He gets you one a year.
This is the game?
Yeah.
In Vegas?
You want to talk about desperate guy? Who's more desperate to get in the end zone than Kirk Cousins, Ryan?
He's pretty desperate.
Yeah,
I'll give you that.
I'm still going back to the time he got me a first touchdown in the playoffs. I think it was against your Giants, Ryan, if I recall correctly. And he has two touchdown games. If you're a hardcore degenerate, But yeah, he'll get you a touchdown once in a blue moon, and I'm telling you, he's due for one. 55-1. I'm rolling the dice. Matthew Stafford almost got us one on the Thursday night game.
I mean, he was, for some reason, he was running hard.
This is another gentleman I've had my eye on. And
someone clipped that.
He's the third tight end. Who better to get a third tight end involved than Antonio Pierce?
Oh boy.
Running some 13 personnel. Harrison Bryant, Ryan, who has gone off on tight end days previously, 100-1. Harrison Bryant has gotten us paid before.
I don't like this.
He's in
going
the club.
against my Michael Mayer angle.
Yeah. Harrison Bryant, 100-1.
Like
Let it ride. All right. What about a ladder bet, Kramer? Any ladder action?
I mean, the only ladder I have in the Bears game is the Caleb Williams ladder.
Okay.
And since we're making it a Michael Mayer day, we're just going to play the Michael Mayer receiving ladder as well.
Okay.
His, as we mentioned earlier, the bottom rung 13.5, 25 is plus 160, 40 is 4-1, and 50 is 8-1, Sean. So, I mean, he had 68 last. We would maybe, and if you wanted to go over 60, it's 12-1. So he had 68 last week. He would have paid out this entire ladder last week. Maybe I'm chasing. What about you, Sean?
Yeah, I was gonna give out the Myers. I mean, I like Myers to have a big day.
Oh, coming over to the Myers side, huh?
What?
You're a Harrison Bryant guy.
What? Jacoby
Myers, not Mayer.
Yeah, I mean, come on, Ryan, get with it.
Understood. Well, we were. I mean, all right. I'll let you. You know, you can carry on.
Yeah, I like the Jacoby Myers stuff. I think he gets you 100. I don't know. The ladder price isn't amazing. I'm gonna say Amir Abdullah rushing yards ladder. Now the number's not out, but I'll update it as soon as I can. Just any of the Amir Abdullah alts, I think is fun.
You're just fading Sincere McCormick.
Yes. Or just the idea that they're going to want to run the ball more than people think. Anything you can get down on Amir Abdullah, because I mean, what's his number going to start at? It's going to be comically low.
Yeah. I don't even, yeah. It will be one of those where maybe they won't release an alt.
Underdog is really shaming him. They don't even have his profile photo. Amir Abdullah is like a household name, right?
He's been around for a while.
Yeah. So shout out to you, Amir Abdullah. I believe in Amir Abdullah. Degens only, Ryan, and this Degens only. Good time to mention. This one's courtesy of Rhythm. Rhythm is a great tool for all your picks, your props. Get the 7-day free trial, hook you up. Great for anytime I'm playing props. I always fire it up, see what Rhythm likes, see what I like, and then for games, you can build your own NFL models, college football models, NBA. Great for the NBA, college basketball stuff where there's a bunch of data you're playing all the time. You can tweak the model, you can adjust it, or if you don't feel like building the model, just let them build it for you. Very easy to set up the slider. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Amir Abdullah 2 touchdowns, 95-1. Ryan, I got that over on and Rhythm was the one that. Like it was one of their favorite props. Him 2 touchdowns at 95-1. When it makes your top props, I'm like, all right, I got to look into this. And then I'm like, yeah, why the Sincere McCormick is being priced like it's Jonathan Taylor and compared to the rest of the other guy compared to Amir Abdullah.
Here's what I would say.
Okay,
the AI identifying this as a play.
Yeah,
I think we're very close, if not playoff season this year, but definitely next football season. Smart people are going to start realizing that there's plenty of edge in same game parlays and other types of markets like this.
Yeah,
if they haven't already.
Yeah,
it's happening, and all of a sudden, we're going to have all these other, and it's going to ruin the prices for it, just like it did for first touchdown. But yeah, I mean, how is he 95-1? Are we watching the games?
I don't know. It's crazy to me. I think what am I missing, Ryan? I think he's going to at least have somewhat of a role. Now, maybe Madison gets in there and messes it up. but he's been banged up. I think.
So
I treat Abdullah as the true number 2 here.
Last week he got 1 or 2 touches.
Yes.
But the week before that, 12 and 13 before that.
Yeah, and last week he was out there for 39% of the snaps. So they're pricing him as like a 0.
I don't mind the dice roll.
Yeah, it's rolling the dice. Now maybe Madison comes back, or maybe Abdullah ends up being a scratch. Like it's Antonio Pierce in a primetime game. I still like rolling the dice, much like Israel Abanikanda last week, where you're trying to get ahead of the injury stuff. If it doesn't work, fine, but it's worth the dice throw for sure.
All right. I have 2. I have 1 for each game. I didn't know if you were bringing how much heat you were bringing, but we were discussing this before the show. The Kirk Cousins, and I'll start with the Raiders one because it's way less fun. Kirk Cousins to throw an interception, which is only minus 135 somehow. I'm gonna tie that with Raiders money line, and last leg, Sean. Both teams to start with a punt.
Oh, okay.
You like that?
Yeah, the old Scotty Reichel special.
Which, by the way, by itself plus 350.
And just coming back to
so those 3 things, punt to start the game with Kirk Cousins interception and Raiders money line. That's going to pay 24-1. For the earlier game, I got a little bit more complex. Caleb Williams and Aaron Jones both score touchdowns.
Okay.
Caleb Williams to get 25 rushing yards, Aaron Jones to get 15 receiving yards, and Aaron Jones to have under 2.5 receptions. So again, 2 touchdowns, Caleb Williams, Aaron Jones, over receiving yards for Aaron Jones, over rushing yards for Caleb Williams, under receptions for Aaron Jones. Those 5 things, little counter correlation, Sean. Plus 11909, 119 to 1. We did it.
All right, for me, for the other game, I'll just do a simple Johnny Munt, Caleb Williams anytime touchdown parlay. Not quite as insane. That's sitting around 30 to 1, but that's the only thing that was really talking to me. So Caleb Williams, Johnny Munt, 1 touchdown each, parlay 30 to 1.
Only that's it.
Yep.
Very simple. Very simple.
Keeping it easy. The true Degen parlay is the Amir Abdullah.
You know I'm a degenerate.
There. So get in over on that. We'll close things out with Underdog fantasy entry. Now we got 2 games, 4 teams to choose from. Maybe do 1 guy from each team, right?
Oh, 4 legs.
Yeah, if you want to get
nice,
have a little fun. And AM FM, you're back on.
Oh,
the guy keeps DMing me saying, "Give me another chance." I think
gonna hit the side of the radio, maybe.
I don't know. AM FM.
No.
Oh, here he is.
Hear me.
Yes.
Well, hello.
What's happening?
God, thank you guys. Okay, so I have COVID and I live in the South, so technically that makes me a liar. Okay, if you know, you know.
Okay.
I have 3 kids, so losing a bet means community college instead of a state college. Okay.
Okay.
Fuck Jonathan Taylor.
Oh no! What happened?
Fuck him. Okay. I had a 5 TD. They all hit except for Jonathan Taylor.
Oh no!
You know
what?
What he did is like you go into piss, but you don't put on your pants. Going on a date without a wallet. Going to a rated R movie when you look like you're 16 without an ID.
Oh.
Going to jump off a boat, but you don't know how to swim. Getting ready to have sex with a limp dick. You motherfucker, fuck you. Don't drop the ball early. Also,
Jonathan,
you fantasy nerds, stop complaining about he was in my lineup. No one fucking cares. But I'm glad the highlighters lost tonight. Go Rams, and I love you guys. Let it ride.
all right,
Nice.
I love it. I felt
That is
bad.
true.
We kept trying to connect, and good to get a Southern perspective, Ryan. Oh man, I'm losing on a Jonathan Taylor anytime touchdown parlay like that, backbreaking.
That would have been devastating. That's I mean, that's you. What do you do? How do you come back from that?
You don't.
Oh my! I would have been. It would. I did have that Mac Jones parlay last year, where he basically similar but different.
You know what pain is like, Ryan.
Yeah, I've been there before. We've all been there before. Come on.
Yes, we have. All right.
You scrape yourself up and you look to the card. Unless you're the some people have retired this week, but most of us will scrape ourselves up and look at the card next week. It's most of us.
Some people are just hey, I'm done. All right, so Kramer, do we start Bears? Who are we picking on the Bears? Caleb Williams rushing, right?
Yeah. Or
it's up to 26.5.
That's fine.
Okay, you don't like the pass and rush yards together looks pretty juicy to me.
Oh, what is it?
251.
All right, I'm fine with that.
All right, higher on that. Feel like we got a lot of outs. What about the Vikings? What do we like on the Vikings, or what do we not like on the Vikings?
All right, we like. I mean, I liked Aaron Jones. I mean, Naylor had some opportunities in the last game, if I recall. I think he scored a touchdown.
Naylor 12.5 receiving yards. You just keep it simple there.
Well, Hawkinson was not really part of the game plan back then, so perhaps that would 12. That's nice. 12.5. Let's do that.
Raiders. What are we doing on the Raiders? I like Jacoby Myers. Can you beat a Jacoby Myers?
Well, yeah, I mean,
62.5 receiving yards on Underdog.
I also like Jacoby Myers, as you know.
Okay,
discussed it before the show. He's professional receiver. Do we want it? Are we sure we want to get in on Desmond Ridder like this?
Yeah, it's their main receiver. I don't know. It's not that crazy of a price.
Okay,
in my mind. And then Kirk Cousins. Do we fade him? I mean, his higher interceptions 0.94x. Feels pretty doable to me, but I'm open to suggestions.
That's how I would. Let's play the interception.
All right, there we go. Kirk Cousins higher 0.94x interceptions. We got Jacoby Myers higher 62.5 receiving yards. Jalen Naylor higher 12.5 receiving yards. Caleb Williams higher 251.5 pass and rush yards. $100 entry returns you $940. Get some free play.
Wait, what was the pass and rush yards number that you got?
251.5.
Oh, it moved on me.
I'm hitting confirm so I can get it in. I'm good.
Did you get it? How did you get it? You didn't even confirm it.
What do you mean?
I'm just saying when I had to accept the change.
Well, they know they're monitoring.
Unreal. I must be attached to a different. This is ridiculous. Yeah. I'm sending a note.
You got the sharp numbers. Thank you, everyone, tuning in as always. Hey, if you're listening to this on a Monday, Merch Monday, use the promo code Monday, 10% off everything in the merch store. We also got the sweet sign up bonuses. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code SGPN, rebet in your app store, promo code SGPN, and mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN on the 7-day free trial. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon. A little early college basketball episode. And then after the Monday night games, doubleheader for college football playoffs.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean. It's second the Money Green. He's Ryan.
Oh, happy week 15, Sean.
Kramer. Let it ride.